players, Machine Gun Jermaine Wattimena, and the Ferret, here's Johnny Clayton!
Well, they're having a good time, aren't they? Right, to our winners now from our opening night, and to our winners in Group F first. Johnny Clayton was just solid, really. A 5-0 win over Leonard Gates. A 66th whitewash win in Grand Slam history, by the way, if you care. Nice little stat for you. A 93 average for the Ferret in that one. And then Jermaine Wattimena, maybe more impressive, a surprise 5-2 win over David Hetta with a 97.5 average. In 9 previous meetings between these two, Jermaine Wattimena has won 7 of them, including 2 this year. So it's set up nicely, isn't it? To guide you through this one, here's Corin Hammond and Dan Dawson.
Yeah, thanks, Hammer. And to add to that, the only 2 times in those 9 previous meetings that Johnny the Ferret Clayton has got one over on the machine gun, he's needed a last leg decider to do it. There have been plenty of tight meetings between these two, and Jermaine has had the better of them. In fact, if you look at this year's Grand Slam of Darts so far, Corin, if it ain't Dutch, it ain't much, quite frankly, because all the Dutch players are winning all of their games so far, including Jermaine, with that excellent win over Damon Hetta in his first group match. If he continues the trend, he will be through, guaranteed to the last 16, and Leonard Gates will be out. However, Johnny Clayton, because of that big win against Leonard, if he could win 5-0 again, or 5-1, that would be enough for him to secure his position in the last 16. So, all to play for.
36.
It is all to play for. So I think what I took from that is that there will potentially be a last leg decider in this match.
There could be, in which case Johnny Clayton, even if he wins it, is not going to be assured of his place in the last 16, although he will be in a very, very strong position. How about this? It wasn't a good opening visit from Jermaine Wattimena, but he's starting to find the treble 20 now. I made this point yesterday that Jermaine is getting back to his old self after a year or 2 in the doldrums, and perhaps a significant step along the way was his first big TV win for about 18 months earlier this year. It came against Johnny Clayton. He was in a World Series event in his home country in the Netherlands, in Amsterdam,
82.
and he celebrated like a mad thing. Quite rightly.
He was a bit like that last night as well. It started off with just the clenched fist when he hit a double, and as towards the end of it, then he got a bit more vocal about it, started celebrating a little bit more.
He's an enthusiastic man. You should enjoy the darts. We all should. He'd enjoy this. Not going to happen, though. Johnny Clayton is going to get 3 darts to hold his throw, take this opening leg.
Johnny required 40.
And he needed all 3, but he got the job done. 1-0 to the Ferrets.
60.
How many miscounts do you think we're going to have from Johnny tonight?
Not as many as we saw earlier on from Lenny, I think. And probably not as crucial ones. But to be fair, the beautiful thing about the Clayton game, and what we saw a lot of last year, is that he's such a player who stays on the straight and narrow. It's ton 40 and ton and ton 40 and ton. He finds himself in an extraordinary number of legs. He's just left 1-2-1, so he has a crack at that. He knows how to take that out, and if he misses it on the ball, he'll just take out the 25. So it's a very simple formula if every leg is the same. It's just when things like that happen that things can get a little bit tricky.
81.
Deals with it.
If only we could all just hit ton 40s, tons, ton 80s the whole way down and just worry about the one to finish it off.
How about a ton 40 to finish? Double 10!
120. Jermaine, you require 150.
Well, Johnny Clayton,
20.
double 10 pinned in the opening leg. Double 10 pinned in the second leg as well. And the little ferrety finger makes an appearance as he goes 2-0 up.
Johnny to throw first.
It makes me want to laugh every time you call him the Ferret. I just still can't believe that's his nickname.
That's his name.
Yeah.
They tried to change it, they did a poll on the telly, and then everybody decided it was a bad idea. He remained the Ferret, and the Ferret he shall stay.
140.
World Grand Prix champion, of course, last year. World Series champion. Winner of the Premier League. Tops the Premier League this year. He has 11 titles to his name in PDC darts, but incredibly, 6 of them have come on the telly, if you include a World Series Tour title, and another one was on the Euro Tour. He's a big stage player, is Johnny the Ferret. Although that was a big visit from Jermaine Wattimena, just to remind him that he's got an opponent in this game.
He seems to be having it all his own way so far. I mean, we are only into the third leg, but the first 2 legs, he's not had a bother from Jermaine.
He hasn't, but he's effectively stolen the darts here, the Dutchman, and nice use of the board there to get down to 120, a finish that doesn't require the bullseye.
$138. Jermaine, you require 120.
That's a little frustrating because it looked a good guide, and that last dart illustrated how good a guide it was. But Johnny Clayton, treble 20 for double 4. He's only going to get 1 dart, but he's pretty good at double 16. He's excellent at it, you know.
Johnny Clayton for Jermaine to throw first.
Well, 3-0, and Jermaine Wattimena is yet to have a dart at double.
Surprising, really, because he's not doing much wrong.
I mean, the average is 97, but it is a scoring average, isn't it? We're not seeing him get darts at double. That will tend to bring the average down.
Yeah, absolutely. And Johnny's been quite clinical on them. I mean, he is at 50%, which is a great checkout success.
Well, I genuinely don't know if Johnny Clayton's aware that a 5-0 or 5-1 win will put him through to the last 16.
I don't think so.
Probably the best situation to be honest, because right now he might be thinking, ooh, it's happening. And all he needs to do, really, is carry on playing the game exactly as he's done for the first 3 legs of it.
I think Johnny's just thinking, I have to win this game, not what the actual scoreline is. As long as he comes out the winner, that's all he knows he's got to do.
Well, look, I mean, this is the world number 9 versus a guy who's currently not in the top 32 in the world. He was quite high. He was actually the Dutch number 2 for a while. 2019, Jermaine Wattimena was playing for the Netherlands with Michael van Gerwen. But Johnny Clayton, despite being a lot higher in the world rankings, he does have that very poor record, and he will be aware of that, won't he?
You'd think so, yes.
He may not know the exact head-to-head score, but he'll know that most times he's played Jermaine Wattimena, he's lost.
Yeah.
And that'll annoy him. But this would annoy Jermaine. Double 4. Well, finally, Johnny Clayton allows Jermaine Wattimena a chance. His first darts at double in the game. And he's missed them both. He has missed them both.
He needs to take those opportunities when they're available, because I don't think he's going to be back for another look at tops. Oh, I was wrong.
You were, Colin.
Absolutely wrong.
Much to Jermaine Wattimena's relief. Or it would be. But all it's done is give him another opportunity to miss. And Johnny Clayton, weirdly, is the only professional darts player I've ever met who says his favourite double is double 1.
That does not surprise me with Johnny.
Loves it there, and he'll love this scoreline as well. One more leg for victory for Johnny Clayton. If he can win one of the next two, we know that the Ferret will be getting through the group stage guaranteed.
95.
We did speak about how having missed starts at doubles can really bring down the average, and you can see that now with Jermaine. That's dropped his average by 10 points with those 5 missed starts at a double there.
Yeah, just having darts at double tends to bring it down,
60.
and that's if you hit them. If you miss them, it brings it down even further.
60.
But Johnny Clayton, without hitting top gear, really, I mean, for the tournament, he's averaging just over 90. He hasn't lost a leg yet. He's 9-0.
But this
100.
could be a really bad thing for him, though. If he skates through this one at 5-0 or 5-1 or whatever, when he's
60.
not had any competition, that could be really bad.
Hang on, explain this to me, Corinne. You've played 9 legs, you've won 9 legs, and this is a bad thing. How?
Because you've not been really tested.
Great. Maybe that continues all week and you get the title.
Oh, yeah. I highly doubt that he could go through the whole week
96.
without dropping any legs. I mean, as good as he is, I just can't see that happening.
Well, he might get through this one without dropping a leg. Treble 18. He's not found, but he's going to come back and have another go.
50.
Well, it's not what he wanted, but it shouldn't really matter. It means that he'll be going at double top rather than his favourite double 16 for the match.
96.
But Jermaine Wattimena is a trudge to the board because he just hasn't taken what few opportunities there were. And is he going to get any more? The answer is no. It is perfect from the Ferret. 5-0 in game 1, 5-0 in game 2. The Ferret hasn't dropped a leg, and even with a game to spare, we know he's going through to the knockout stage.